Hello, everyone. We're really excited to have another session with you guys. It's now 2 months into lockdown. We enjoyed giving a special TPMS webinar a few weeks ago. And I've got a few special guests with us today. So we've got Ben Smallman from Ben Smallman PR. Ben looks after our PR. And if you've been seeing some of the lovely things we've been doing lately, it's all his fault. He keeps nudging me and asking me to tell our stories. And I keep forgetting that when we're moving at this crazy speed of light that we do as a business, that there's actually quite a lot going on with us all the time. So Ben's quite good at teasing that out of me. And hopefully you'll see what I mean in a minute. And we've also got Martyn Holt here from Pylon, who's a really new and exciting partner that we have for the business. We don't take on many partners very easily. So give everyone a little wave, Martyn, if you don't mind.
Good morning, everybody. Morning, Ben.
And we thought we would just kick off and tell you a little bit about our Michelin wiper blade program. So here we go. Let's get into it a little bit deeper. Go for it, Ben.
Yeah, I'm bound to ask some questions, Prashant, if you don't mind, and Martyn. So,
feel free.
Looks fantastic, first impressions. But I guess the main question to ask early doors is what Pylon are looking to achieve in the UK with Michelin Pro Series wiper blades, and how the partnership really took place with Autogem.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pylon is a global provider of wiper blade. We've had the license for Michelin wiper blades in over 50 countries worldwide. We're actually also providing other licensees around the world, which we have that license for an additional 35 years. And we've got around 70 patents in technology, one of which we're extremely proud of is the SmartFlex design in the Michelin hybrid wiper blade. And when entering for really for the UK market with the Michelin Pro Series, I had a vision, a different approach in supporting a fitment program for the tyre dealer network. And from this idea, I approached the National Tyre Distributors Association, and a recommendation of them, I was introduced to Prashant. Now, whilst I knew of Autogem for my many years within the automotive aftermarket as a business, it wasn't until I'd actually met Prashant that two things became very immediately apparent for me. Firstly was obviously his infectious enthusiasm and drive, but more importantly was the respect he had from within the tyre community. And straight away, this confirmed to me, Ben, that Autogem were, for me, the right working partner for my trade distribution and driving the Michelin brand of the wipers forward.
Very good. Prashant, there's so many nice things that have been said about you there. I'm sure you want to come back with your perspective with Pylon.
I thought he was going to say I'm crazy, and I was just going to admit it, basically. And I know my energy levels are like this and just go a bit bonkers, so I'm quite used to that as a comment. I think that we've had a really fun journey owning Autogem since 2005. And when I say fun, I put it in brackets. We bought a business that had a really old, long-standing brand. It was formed in the 60s. It did very well. It was owned by a PLC, which kind of broke it apart somewhat. And by the time we got our hands on it, the brand was a little bit all over the place. And we very much chased our tails in the early years. I mean, it's been 15 years now since we bought the business. And what we've learned is not to shoot down all these different avenues and try to jump on all these opportunities, because we didn't really understand the brand, the opportunities, the customers, and so on. And since then, we've really sort of learned to be quite picky about who we work with. And we need exclusive arrangements. We've realized that's extremely important for us as a business. We need really strong product quality and even better, a strong brand. So Martyn was looking for someone to work with. He's got the strong brand and he's looking for someone in the tire industry. I think the stars aligned. The maths just made complete sense. And to be fair, he talks about enthusiasm. I think we bounce off each other a bit as well. So it's nice. We're excited about it.
Great stuff. And looking at the brand, I mean, I'm looking at this, the information in front of me. I mean, it goes without saying, really, Michelin, one of the most recognisable brands in the world. Obvious question, but it must have been a big pull for you, Prashant, to be able to work with a brand like this.
A huge pull. I mean, we're very proud of our brand and the work we put into it. But and people always get us confused with a car polishing brand, by the way. And I always say, no, that's not us, but we're close. But Michelin, I mean, wow, what a brand. So many people know it. My kids know it. My kids know who the Michelin Man is. I think there's such a strong perception of quality amongst tyre technicians as well. And I think tyre technicians possibly have not really explored the true opportunities with wiper blades as much as they possibly could. And the association of quality as a brand for someone who sells tyres, and then they're now selling the same brand for wiper blades. Again, it really just makes sense. From my personal experiences as well, let's take off my tyre industry hat and all the exposure I have there. You know, I think many of us have been through these false economies in our lives where we buy something, for me, whether it's, and I'm embarrassed to say this, cycling clothes, and then go, ouch, that hurts, compared to let me spend a bit more money if I'm going to sit on a saddle for hours and hours at a time, to let me pick up the cheapest wiper blades I can find from a car accessory shop, put them on my wife's car, of course, and then as soon as it's raining, half the blades falling off. You learn from your mistakes. I learned from my mistakes, cheap air compressors. I ended up buying some Michelin compressors, and I'm so convinced by the quality of the brand. I've now made sure there's Michelin air compressors in every household within my family and extended family. So I think, yeah, absolutely, the brand was a huge draw for us. Really excited. And again, it comes back to those exclusive contracts, which are really important to us as well.
And just to add to that, Prashant, I mean, I think, you know, as part of the Michelin lifestyle licensed product family, you know, quality is paramount for Michelin, you know, and as quality has always been associated with the brand, quite rightly what you said. You know, more than 90% of the world recognizes that the Ben Michelin Man. So reputation is important as them, you know, it's important to Michelin, it's important to us as Pylon, but it's also important to the consumer. You know, in the recent global reputation track, you know, as per the screen, you know, Michelin was ranked the 8th most recognized brand for trust, performance, product, and service innovation. So these key things are very, very important to us. And I think that's why, you know, we hold basically the brand in high regard, and obviously again why we were looking for the right partner to assist and promote that brand.
Well, timing's not been brilliant, has it?
Unfortunately.
But no, we're still very excited, obviously.
So great stuff. Well, let's talk about these wiper blades then. So I'm bound to ask, are they not all just the same? Same, bit like that tyres argument. They're all black and round, aren't they?
Absolutely. Yeah, as long as you can kick them. I mean, essentially, you know, there are two types of wipers available in the marketplace. You know, the traditional standard framed wiper blade, which has been around for many years, which was what people originally had on vehicles, and then much more in modern vehicles, what we refer to as the beam blade. Now, both product types have their advantages. What we want to do with the Pro Series Hybrid, we've actually combined the best of both, the advantages of both those types of blades, and adapted that into a patented suspension technology with what we call the Smart Flex design. And this is something that Pylon has the patents on. So the Michelin blades themselves, they actually have still the curvature and flexibility of a beam blade, but they still have the stanchions which hold the windshield curves of a traditional blade. So this provides long-lasting, clog-free, sort of all-season performance. And it actually performs better throughout the range of the seasons, which we're certainly in the UK at the moment. So it's actually a good flexibility in the fact that it covers everything for what the consumer requires.
Very good. I mean, I was going to ask this question a bit later on, but you're talking about the seasonality, really. I mean, is now a good time of the year to be looking at a product like this, or is it generally restricted to the end of the year, you know, the start of the following year? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so interestingly, you know, if you go back years ago, we talk about April showers, and, you know, we used to find that March and October that fell in line with the MOTs were always very, very good sales points for the industry. But if you take, for example, at the moment, Ben, where because a lot of people have been in lockdown, a lot of people have been being furloughed, people aren't using their vehicles, which means that also their MOTs have allowed to be deferred. So, of course, we're now, rather than following the traditional MOT lines, now this MOT line is going to change. So actually, is there a long time? I think it can be fitted now 12 months of the year. You've also got wiper blades now that have actually been stuck on the windscreen because they haven't been moving, the heat and everything else. So I think once people get back, start driving, you will find, and taking the vehicles for MOTs, you will find that actually you'll see some wiper blade failures. So Is it a traditional product for rainy season? Well, yes, that was traditionally when people would want it, but I think things will certainly change this year because of even the effects of COVID-19.
Right.
I think it's interesting you say that, Martin. Sorry, I'm going to just pipe in with my OCD on these things.
Yeah.
I have several OCDs. One of them is flickering lights. So if I start going crazy in this flickering lights, you'll know that's one of them. But the other one is I don't like my glasses being dirty. And in the same way, I don't like my windscreen being dirty. So summer season for me in particular, personally, is an odd time because the bugs are out. I'm using loads of screen wash. I'm that guy who's constantly pumping the screen for the screen wash, which is great for a business like ours that does actually sell screen wash. And we find that certainly summer season is a time where screen wash usage goes crazy. And I think those smeared windscreens can drive some people crazy. So who knows? Who knows? Everyone's different. Everyone has their different draws to motivate them to do things. But and certainly, obviously, winter's another key time as well.
To the untrained eye like mine, it all looks a bit complicated to fit, though. I mean, is it a straightforward process? I mean, what would customers, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, so is it complex? It's probably a little bit more complex than it used to be in the fact that traditionally a lot of wiper blades were just a hook design. Now we have various different types of connectors, from a bayonet to top lock. But actually, no, they are still fairly easy to use. And we actually have what we call an easy lock or an easy lock connector system. And these are really extremely easy to fit. To assist the person that's fitting it, on the back card of actually our wiper blades are fitting instructions, which will help you, assist you, and tell you exactly which connector type you need for your vehicle. We also have YouTube channels and fitment videos which help you install the wiper in itself. So actually, Ben, no, they are fairly easy to understand. It's just trying to understand what connector type you have on your specific vehicle.
And just to look at this slide just briefly, I mean, I'm already getting a sense that the look and feel of the product is very much a premium solution, really. Just a question to Prashant, I guess. I'm seeing some parallels there with the TPMS offering that you guys provide at Autogem. There's one or two similarities there with that kind of. I know the products are different, but I'm seeing one or two similarities between them.
I think as we talk about it a bit more, you'll see even more similarities. I'd love to say our brand is so similar, but I think the way we put the program together is very similar. And that's the key thing. I mean, with TPMS, we're about the support, we're about the training, we're about making people's life easy, we're about selling a quality product, about putting the marketing together for people. And it's very similar here with what we've done with this Michelin Blades program. You have the marketing poster. Martin just alluded to. You've got the fitting videos. You've got an online catalogue. You've got a printed catalogue. You've got a special sales sheet which helps technicians engage with their consumers better. You've got the fact that, and this is something perhaps we didn't quite touch on, but this slide will probably make it a little bit more clear. Because these blades are multi-fit, you've got reduced stock holding. So again, it's quite like our TPMS program. We have a single sensor that will do 99% of all TPMS sensors available on the marketplace. So it is about helping the business. There's huge similarities, actually. I'm very impressed you picked up on that, Ben. I don't know how you do it, but you're clearly getting to know us well.
Good stuff. And with just talking about coverage, how many makes and models of cars do the blades cater for?
So in around percentage-wise, we're talking about just over 90% of the EU vehicle park. There's always, unfortunately, new vehicles coming out that have a bespoke specific connector, which may be patented by the vehicle manufacturer. But as it stands at the moment, we're pleased to cover over 90%. With the average vehicle age in the UK at the moment of 8.1 years, the type of business that we're attracting, we could easily cover the majority of vehicles that this type of workshop would see.
I think what's nice as well is Martin has access to a lot of data. So we've profiled our starter packs according to the UK car park as well, so that people aren't having blades that they won't actually need. And that's an important part, again, about the support that we're getting in this partnership. So, we're excited to make sure that what we're recommending to people is right for their businesses. And that's really, really important for us as a brand and what we try to put together for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, for us, it was also about in supporting, there's three elements to this. And I think it's very important, Ben, is we as a business have to be seen to be supporting obviously Autogem and helping Autogem sell a product that's been unfamiliar to them in the past or something that they haven't sold. But it's also supporting Autogem's customer, the tyre fitter, the dealer that's actually going to be fitting this and helping them in itself, but also recognizing that we also need to assist and help them sell the part to the consumer. So, we supported Autogem with a dedicated web page, which is on the Michelin Lifestyle website. This actually allows the consumer or the tyre dealer or Autogem to have a quick, easy vehicle application guide using the vehicle make model index. You can actually go on there, and one of the other things that we're doing trying to support the tyre dealer network at the moment is we can actually find a workshop page on there. So at the moment we're having this is in its infancy, but the idea is also a full postal code search, which a consumer can put the postal code search in, and it will dedicate them to the nearest workshop that's purchased the Michelin wipers through Autogem. It will point them through their nearest town. And without sort of jumping too far ahead, I mean, one of the things that Prashant just alluded to is one thing that we did some tests with a number of tyre dealers working with Autogem. Prashant kindly invited a number of dealers into Autogem, and we used them as a bit of a test bed.
That's me being risk averse, Martin. That's all it is. Getting my favourite focus group together.
I think it was a very good platform just to understand what is being viewed in the tyre dealer network. And one thing that became very, very clear, wipers isn't a new product for them. But all of them actually admitted they were never really pushing the product. And one thing we said was, here's your opportunity to try and talk to the consumer. If the consumer's coming in for tyres, how do we help them? Do we ever actually ask the specific question to the car owner? When you drove in here today, how are your wipers performing? How easy is it to do a quick wiper check and actually just test the wiper blade and highlight and show the consumer if there is any imperfections on the windscreen? And this was adding to an additional sell for the tyre dealer network. And I think this was really important. All the tyre dealers we spoke to said, yes, actually, that's something that we don't do. We may do a MOT, if we're an MOT station, we may do an MOT check, but we don't do it as a specific check for the consumer. And we've actually shown from our own market research that actually 8 out of 10 consumers, if you show them there is an imperfection with their wiper blade, they will allow the tyre dealer to fit it. And you have to remember, Ben, this is something that's really important. This is a safety critical article, because if you haven't driven your car for a number of months, and like now you're driving down the motorway and you have that first downpour and you put on your wipers at 70 miles per hour and you've seen smears, you want to have maximum visibility. So what we've created, as Prashant said, was also a workshop sell sheet. And this is something really for the tyre dealer, for the mechanic, to just prompt them asking those specific questions. How well did your wiper blades perform? Did you hear any squeaking? Did you see any signs of wear? And it's allowing them to communicate with their customer. And I think this is the important part of the process of helping them and helping the consumer understand about safety critical articles.
I have to, just pipe in. I get so excited about this because, you alluded to the similarities with our TPMS program, and Martin and I have come up with this together because we've evolved from a company that sells toilet paper and nuts and bolts and air freshener and really glamorous things like that, to a business now which is so much more about how can we help our customers generate revenue and engage with their customers better. And we've taken so many learnings from our TPMS program. We said, well, let's try to throw this together and follow the same philosophy with how we put together this Blades program. And, Martin's been just fabulous for that. And I think for us, I'd like to think that customers are now seeing us as so much more than just I've got to buy that blue roll or that WD-40 type spray or something like that. And they're feeling we are a company that comes into their businesses and helps them learn and helps them engage with the consumer, because that's what's going to give them an edge, having a fabulous brand and having really good customer service in a day where, price and the internet is always an issue. So we're trying to help our customers deal with that.
I know that, just to follow on from that, some of the press releases I've written in the past, Prashant, is talking about saving time, improving engagement, and increasing revenue streams. And I guess those three touch points, these are where these blades come into their own, I guess.
100%. You know, we've got a real philosophy about the direction we want to go in with our business, and what's really nice is, as I said, the stars have kind of aligned for us with this opportunity, and I'm so glad you came to our stand at Automechanica, Martyn, and waited when we were incredibly busy to say, I want to speak to Prashant. I'm so glad that we did speak and we spent this time together, and already we're seeing customers who are benefiting from that. So
I completely agree. And I think that, Ben, one thing that Prashant and I spoke about is, you know, with this particular program, you know, we're not trying to tailor the tyre dealer. You need all the specific, because there's so many companies now there that's doing a specific program per vehicle per wiper blade, and you end up with a huge amount of inventory, a traditional blade, a beam blade, a specific fit program. What we're trying to do is tailor something that's maximizing effectively a space, because space is always a premium in a tyre dealer, but also inventory at the moment, and more so cash flow. You know, inventory, things being tied up in inventory. If you get the opportunity with the car coming through the workshop, you want to grab that consumer. You don't want to be waiting for your local distributor to deliver that part an hour later. You want the part there and then to talk to the consumer. You don't want to have huge amounts of volumes. So by having the starter pack, which we'll discuss in a minute, I mean, this really is the opportunity to capture that business. And the one key thing that when we were talking to the tyre dealers, you know, they openly said that it took that word profitability. You know, they've openly said for years there isn't the profitability, unfortunately, within tyres maybe there was historically. So this is adding an additional revenue stream for them, and trying to promote their business. And what the beauty of this is, you're also not holding up a ramp, you're not taking up a tyre bay. This could be something that's fitted as the customer comes into the car park and so forth. It's a quick and easy job that the tyre dealers can do, adding that additional revenue stream. So I think for me, it's also, you know, for the tyre dealers, it's a win-win situation. You've got a reduction in inventory, you've got the opportunity to promote basically a key brand of Michelin, but you've also got that opportunity of capturing that customer whilst he's in your workshop. I mean, would you sort of agree with that, Prashant?
I couldn't agree more. And the focus group was a very important exercise for us. I don't know if I actually sort of warned you about that in advance, Martyn, but before we wanted to really commit and say, right, let's really get behind this. We have limited resources as a business. We're fortunate to have some incredible partners, customer partners, but it's hard to get their time as well. They'll meet with us 2 or 3 times a year if we're lucky. And now we're into COVID. It's a completely different situation. So when we go to them, we've got to go to them with a package that makes sense. And I think we've put it together quite nicely. I mean, the screen sort of shows some words that get my OCD going. You know, streaking, chattering, smearing, you know, squeaking on the windscreen. It makes me start, you know, getting all dizzy. But I mean, there's so much attention to detail that we've tried to bring to the table by having, for example, a QR code on every pack, and even the display stand takes you to the website, so you can do a lookup to see which clip do you need for the vehicle that you're working on, or what video to see how to fit the wiper for that. And it's all from a QR code. We'll give you a printed application guide as well at the same time. You've got that data we spoke about earlier. That means that we're only 50 blades. You're getting a massive coverage of the market. We've got the posters. We've got the sales sheet. We even have an e-learning course. And again, we brought our TPMS experience to basically explain all of these things. Just trying to make it really easy for people with such a powerful brand, which is synonymous with quality as well. So, yeah, just excited. I'm sorry, I've got to apologise for it. I'm just excited.
As I am, Prashant, as I am to be working with alongside Autogem.
No, that's good. I just get a sense it's more than just a product in isolation, which sounds like an obvious thing to say, really. But like Prashant's just alluded to, the amount of assets that you provide in addition to. It's not just a blade that's going to go on your, on a car. It's much more than that. It's like Prashant, the e-learning, everything else. It looks very good. You just got me feeling quite guilty about the state of my wiper blades now. You've got to have a look.
You know where to get them from now.
I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of our partners on the website. You'll have to look it up. Sorry, you've got to go make your choices. Find your local one. But no, seriously, guys, I just want to say a big thank you for taking your time out. Please stay healthy, happy, and I hope we can do many more of these together, Ben. It's been fun hosting these, and we'd like to get out and see people. Unfortunately, we can't at the moment. We're very much operational here in the office and the warehouse, but stay safe, everyone.
Yeah,
and thanks for giving us your time.
And absolutely, and Ben, just to reiterate on that as well, thank you to both of you for my opportunity to be able to just discuss with you two openly. I think that whilst we are in this, as you said, unprecedented times, we're trying to use every platform possible to try and get out there, and it actually shows what is potentially possible for the future. So thank you both.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed it.
Cheers, guys. Take care of yourselves.
Bye-bye.